Welcome back to the last segment of this week's Eagles Sports Coaches Show. Sean Woods has joined us now. And, Coach, split the last two games. Really not bad efforts in either game. The Belmont game last Thursday night took probably one of the best, if not the best team, down to the wire and led most of that game.
Well, yeah, it was disappointing that we played so hard and played so good. Well, not so good, but played good enough for 37 minutes or so, and to give the basketball game what was very devastating. But we did see some right things. Now we know that we can compete, and we're just as good as anybody in the league if we just take care of our business and stop making low major plays. And we saw that on tape. And it kind of made us puke that yesterday, watching the tape against them, and then also coming back, showing some character against Tennessee State, who's a good team, and fighting and finding a way to win that one. Really showed some character of our guys, something that I haven't seen all year, and it's starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah, I think you can see them adapting, them realizing their roles. I mean, it's been a hard-fought situation for you and your staff to try to convince some of them what they need to do.
Right.
And the fact, I think the lights went on now, as you mentioned, subtraction, maybe addition sometimes when they realize, that happened to them could happen to me if I don't start listening to Coach.
Exactly, and that's been the frustrating part. I told him the other day, you guys, don't want to take coaching sometimes, but look at these mistakes that you're making. I mean, these are middle school mistakes that we're making, and it's frustrating to me as a coach. How am I supposed to act watching Division I basketball players make these type of mistakes? So they're getting it, and they're fighting, and they're figuring out how to win, and now we just got to continue and finish the stretch.
In the loss to Belmont, you mentioned the fact that they really don't hurt themselves. And I really think, we saw that at Belmont, the fact that we led for most of the game, but they didn't seem to panic. They seemed to think they were in the game all the way to the end.
Well, they didn't get rattled. That's the sign of a good team, and they're a veteran team also. So, they didn't panic. They stayed the course, and they let us make the mistakes down the stretch, which were unforced, which was very, very frustrating to me. And we gave them the game, and we handed them the game. They didn't take the game. We won the game, and we just gave it back to them. And that was very, very frustrating for me.
Ricky Bird, Coach Bird's been there forever, 25, 26 years. And I think they're a reflection of him because after so long on that sidelines, the former Tennessee player don't get rattled.
No, he's just even keel, and he just plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, and his players do the same. And reason why they're the best team in the OVC right now because they make the least amount of mistakes in the OVC.
Tennessee State on Saturday had a pretty good crowd. We had two good crowds. I mean, 3,412 against Belmont, 3,400 against Tennessee State. A very athletic team, Tennessee State.
Yeah, they are. And let me tell you something, for everybody out there, we appreciate the fan support, the students coming out. We need you again, and we need more for next week's home stretch, the last 4 home games of our season. And let's end it on a great note. Not just with our team, but with the fan support and the spirit of Morehead State.
Quickly you turn around, you see Belmont one Thursday, and you see them the next Thursday. I mean, at least you don't have to worry about the scout report because you hopefully the players remember the last one.
Well, I just left the office, and BJ was asking me, Coach, what else do you want to put on there? I said, hey, just put our stuff on there, what we did good, what the mistakes that we made against them, how did they hurt us, and then some of Eastern stuff, and that's it. So, it's good that we can play them right back, and we're looking forward to it, and we're going to try to make it a different outcome.
First time the Morehead State Eagles invade the Belmont facility, which has hosted the A-Sun tournament for several years, the fact that it's going to be a pretty nice facility to go into for the first time.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We're just looking forward to playing the basketball game and try to have a different outcome on this one.
Jacksonville State on Saturday, that's a team that, winning this year, I mean, they've put, 12, 13 wins together. They're not a bad ball club.
No, I haven't seen them yet, so I can't tell you much about them, but I know James Green, who I replaced at Mississippi Valley State, does a great job, big-time defensive coach. He's going to try to slow it down and make it a knockdown, drag-out type of situation, so we got to pose our will on them and make it a sprint. We got to be thoroughbreds instead of trotting horses.
Are you happy with the way they are the last little bit? I mean,
last couple games I am. We're still making some mistakes that makes me just shake my head and scratch my head and be like, wow. So we got to get rid of those mistakes. And if we, limit those mistakes, the reason why we, there was a different outcome against Tennessee State. We only had 11 turnovers. You know, I told the guys, I said, we had 20 turnovers against Belmont and we lose by 1. Just think if we had 11 turnovers, we win by 15.
Yeah.
So, it's on us. It's not what they're doing. It's what we're not doing. And now they're starting to realize that, hey, we control our own destiny. If we just stick to the script and just stay solid and basic, we have a chance to beat anybody in this league for the rest of the year.
Last month of the season, something that I guess you want to work on, the fact that, at this part of the season, I guess it's different, is the fact that, you're playing teams and you're doing the scouting report on teams. But right now it's more important is to get yourself well.
No doubt about it. And, we understand. We've seen everyone except for Murray in Jacksonville State, of course. And once we do that, then we'll have a great grip on what to expect from everyone in the league. This is my first time going through the league, so it's been an experience for me too. But I feel very confident where our team is right now. We just got to continue to build on what we've been doing and continue to get better, and hopefully the rest of the year will be much better outcomes.
11-11 overall, 5-3 in the conference, and the fact that as we were talking to Coach Hodges before, you kind of hold your own destiny the rest of the way.
Well, we do. We can't worry about anybody else. We get a chance to, play Belmont again. We get a chance to play Murray again. Play Murray. We get a chance to play Eastern, Jacksonville. So if we take care of our situation, we can't worry about what somebody else does. We just got to worry about what Morehead State does. And hopefully, at the end of the day, once this thing's in before the conference tournament starts, we're right where we need to be.
Angelo Warner, the last couple games, he just seems to impress me on the defensive side. I know he probably makes his breakdowns just like everyone else, but he just seems like he puts it out all on the line for you.
He's my type of guy. He's my type of plays a warrior. And he's a competitor, and those are my type of guys. He was hurt the other night. I didn't even think he was going to play with that knee injury that he had sustained during the Belmont game, but he came back. He was hurting. He was fatigued, but he found a way to fight through it, and we won the basketball game. I honestly believe if he doesn't get hurt against Belmont, we win that one also.
You've got about 8 players, maybe 9 players, that are averaging 11 minutes a game. It's a fact that and I like the fact that if someone has a hot hand, you're going to play them. If somebody's going to play your defense, you're going to play them. And it doesn't matter who they're replacing. The fact that if they give you the effort, if they listen to you, they're coachable, they're going to be out on the floor.
No doubt about it. This is not a popularity contest. This is, about results. And I'm going to play guys that are going to give me results the way I want them. And that's how it's been. And that's how it's going to be.
And the fact that, everyone's about even in scoring, too. You got, 2 players in double figures in scoring, but the rest of them are 7. You got, 1, 2, 3, 4 players averaging 7 points a game. I know you like to see that up a little bit, averaging 71 points a game, 71 and a half a game. But, that's buying into the system is key. And I think maybe not there completely, but you can see signs.
Well, we do see signs, and that's what you want to see as a coach. Kids getting better, your team getting better gradually as the season progresses. I've only been around these guys for 4 or 5 months, and to be where we are right now, not for me, but other people tell me that we're doing a pretty good job, So just implementing the deal for the first year. We're not where we want to be from a record standpoint, but I told our guys, we're like Dow Jones, we flip a coin. That's why one day we're up, the next day we're down. That's why we're 500. The more we stay up, the more, we have more in the winning column than we do in the losers column.
9.9 steals per game. Pretty happy with that?
Yeah, that can be up a little bit more too, but I'll take that right now. We're in the top. We're 7th in the country right now in steals, but my teams are normally, 11, 12 steals a game. So. But that's a product of my teams, and we're going to continue to get better at that also.
Of course, coming up on Thursday night in Nashville against Belmont, 8 o'clock will be the tip-off, 7:45 airtime here on the ESN. And then Jacksonville, 3 o'clock for the women's game. So what, about 5:30, something like that, Eastern time will be the tip-off for the Jacksonville Morehead State game. Of course, Chuck will have all that action right after the women's game on Saturday. Coach, I know it's going to be a different bus ride to you because Jacksonville State, but as you said, that's what great part being first-year coach. In fact, you get to see some of these places for the first time.
No doubt about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Sean, always a pleasure. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Sean Woods, head coach, Morehead State University. Once again, the men are at Belmont on Thursday night and Jacksonville State on Saturday. You can hear all the action here on the Eagle Sports Network. That's going to do it for this edition of the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. For everyone involved, I'm Jason Blanton. Until next time, so long, everybody.